this week's vlog. It is Tuesday. Let me just double check. Yes, it's Tuesday, 16th of February, which means it is publishing day for A Court of Silver Flames. It's been a while since a ACOTAR book was published, and the last one wasn't that great. I have got the pre-order of the audiobook from Audible, but it hasn't been delivered. It says the 16th. It's Audible Australia. It should be delivered today. Last time I got a pre-order, it was delivered on the day it was released, like on the actual day for New Zealand and Australia. But apparently this time they're just going to do it when it's American, I guess, because that's the only country that exists in the world. So, because I really want to read the book, and I do want to buy it, I think I'm going to go see how much it is in person, because I don't know. And I need to go to the supermarket anyway, so Mum and I are going to go out, which means I will be vlogging, but I won't be vlogging, which I don't do anyway when I'm out, because I'm too awkward. And then the rest of my day is packing orders. I have like 10 in front of me I need to pack. I'm thinking of doing studio vlogs for Waste of Sense. I don't know, because this one's meant to be reading vlogs, so I don't talk much about Waste of Sense. Well, I do, but I'll stop if you guys want to see studio vlogs, but I'll do that on a Waste of Sense YouTube channel, not this YouTube channel. Fine if you don't want to see it. Maybe I'll just do it for myself. I don't know. I'm back home now, and I picked up A Court of Silver Flames. That's my bookmark because I had nothing else. I am 30 pages in, and so far I'm not sure how I'm feeling. Mainly because there was something mentioned about like Feyre not liking Nesta, and I know that she has a bad relationship with her, but I never thought it would go so far that, like, minor spoiler, I'm sorry, it's in the first 30 pages that like Feyre has no pictures of Nesta in her house, and there's a mention of basically Feyre's father doting on her and Elaine, and Nesta being like close to their mother. I know that it's kind of like alluded to in the previous books, but nothing like, at the end of the day, Feyre was treated shit by her whole family before she was like taken to the Spring Court by Tamlin, so it kind of upsets me in the first 30 pages that that's like a thing that's mentioned, that like Feyre blah blah blah, all this stuff, doesn't have pictures of her sister, and it just makes no sense. But it's whatever. Nothing's really happened except for they basically just confronted Nesta about her attitude, which needs to happen because she has a big attitude, big time. Anyway, that's all the spoilers I got for you today, because it's 30 pages in, so if you read this book you'll figure it out really quickly. I'm also hoping to finish Law by Alexandra Bracken. I read a little bit this morning, which you would have seen. I'm at page 200, or like 198, so it's basically 200. So hopefully I can finish that soon, but I will be giving precedence or priority to A Court of Silver Flames. And then my last book, I'm about to start the audiobook for Legendborn by Tracy Dion. I don't know what this is about, but Byron got this to me for Christmas, and I got the audiobook at the library, and it's due back in like 16 days, so I need to start now. I was really hoping that my audiobook for A Court of Silver Flames would be here, but it's not, and I don't understand why not, but it's whatever. That will be my next audiobook, even though I've got other ones available at the library. Who cares? Hi, I am just about to head out to go print some labels. I'm listening to Legendborn still by Tracy Dion, and it's what I'm about to listen to while I drive. It is the afternoon now. I'm filming this on my camera. Here's my phone. Normally I film on my phone because it's just easier. I literally just finished the audiobook for Legendborn. Here we go, here it is. I really enjoyed it actually. I think probably a 4 out of 5. I think I'm really struggling to want to rate things 5 out of 5. I know people have been doing this rating, I can't remember who it was made by, that seems like a really good system of rating, but I think because I'm such like a mood reader and I rate based on feeling, it's not the best system for me, which therefore means probably reading my reviews or listening to what I rate books isn't the smartest, but who cares. Anyway, this was a Legend of Arthur Knights of the Round Table retelling about like Camelot and stuff. It's set in America, in somewhere, maybe Virginia, one of the southern states. There's lots of racism in the book, which I like. I don't like racism. I like books that have commentary on stuff like that. The cover for this is beautiful. Byron got me for this for Christmas. It was on my radar, but it wasn't on my books of I really wanted. And I had been tossing up whether or not I should get it, and then recently people have just been really loving it. And I saw it was available at the library. Well, it wasn't available at the time I put it on hold, but you know what I mean. And I got it out the other day, finally. Well, like 15 days ago. I get 28 days to listen to audiobooks, and this one I've got like 12 days left. So it took me a while to get to it, but that's because I was trying to read or listen to House Rules and Jodie Picoult's other book, and then I started Crescent City, so you know. Anyway, I really enjoyed it. I totally recommend it, especially if you want a different retelling. I know a lot of retellings have been coming out in the last few years that are mostly Disney-esque. Not necessarily Disney, but they're the ones that you know because of Disney. Like Beauty and the Beast. That's a huge one, and other stuff like that. And I know in the last, I'd say 2 years, more and more retellings have been coming out that aren't necessarily that, but I think a lot of them fall quite short in my opinion because they just feel like blatant retellings. I haven't listened or read quite a few that I felt like were really unique in my opinion. Maybe that's just me, other people might feel different, but that's how I feel. But this one I think is quite unique. I know there was another King Arthur retelling, I can't remember what it's called, and I never read it because I couldn't figure out if it was the first book or not. It's like a sci-fi one. This is like a urban fantasy one. I enjoyed this one and I totally recommend it. I'm not sure if I will continue the series. I liked where it ended, but obviously it's a series, and I thought it was a really good ending for the first book, but because I'm slowly growing out of YA, I think maybe by the time the sequel comes out I might not be enjoying YA anymore, and I might just not love it. That's something I guess I'll have to deal with when the sequel comes out, whenever that is. But if you're looking for a good retelling that has rep of POC POC characters and something a little bit different, Legendborn is for you. I was going to start listening to A Court of Silver Flames, but I think I might just read the physical book this afternoon because I'm quite far through, and I think instead I'm just going to watch YouTube for a bit because I don't want things in my ears. Anyway, I'll check up with you probably when I finish this, and I'm hoping that once I finish this I can go back into law and finish that by the end of the month. I'm not sure if I actually will finish my monthly TBR at this rate because I decided to pick up this big boy. Good girl. So Lux and I are reading A Court of Silver Flames, except for she's too young to read this. I am, let me just see. Sorry Lux. I'm at chapter 20 and I just went through a scene, if you know what I mean. And I just want to say one thing. There's this one part where two characters are kissing and it says that he licked the roof of her mouth. And I can't stop thinking about how gross that is to me. I don't know, maybe I'm kissing wrong, but that is disgusting, and it just makes me sad. So, oh no, Lux is leaving because I'm so sad at how gross that was. Anyway, I'm enjoying it so far, but honestly, at the end of the day, nothing really has happened, and I'm 220 pages in. I think that a little bit more needs to happen faster for me to really love it. Like, I'm enjoying it, but not as much as I was hoping. I guess I am. I don't know how I feel. I know it's a big book, but I feel like things need to start happening in the first 200 pages for you to really be into it, and in my opinion, nothing really has happened, so. Good morning. It is Wednesday, pretty sure. And she's like, oh, she's in my hot water was still warm. And I just got up. I had a shower first thing because I felt really gross. And I'm just making my breakfast before I start my day. I eat Weet-Bix for breakfast. It's yummy. And I always have a tea because I'm tea obsessed. Last night I read up to, I think, about page 300 of A Quarter Silver Flames. And so far, quite a bit's happened. One character has an unpronounceable name. Brian, as I'm calling them. I think they're actually female. I thought they were male, but they're not. And you think I know, but for some reason I just couldn't figure it out. And there's been like 3 or 4 semi-sex scenes, mostly just smutty scenes. And they've all kind of been like, I don't know, how do I say this? I haven't like overly enjoyed them. They've been alright, but I don't know. Hopefully I enjoy the book. So far it's just sitting at like a 4 out of, probably like a 3.5 out of 5, which is really sad because I love ACOTAR. This feels like the world of ACOTAR, but it doesn't also at the same time. Like it kind of feels like a fanfic. So, can't really write a fanfic of your own book. Well, I mean you can. And then the other thing is, some other stuff has happened that I think is kind of dumb personally, based on things said in other books. That's just my opinion. I bet some people love the book. They rated it 5 out of 5. Their favourite book of all time. Good on them. I think I just love Reese and Feyre too much. So, same thing happened to Vampire Academy when Bloodlines was published. And everyone loved Sydney and Adrian. And I was like, Rose and Dimitri is where it's at. So, I think it's probably just the same thing here. Great. One last thing before I get on with my day. I am going to finish listening to the audiobook of Legendborn. I am that far through, which means it will only take me a few more hours. And then once I finish listening to that, while I'm packing orders and working on customs, I will then start listening to the audiobook of A Quarter Silver Flames. That far through. And I have the audiobook. It finally got delivered to me like at 5 p.m. 7 p.m. New Zealand time. It's ridiculous. I just don't understand why we couldn't get it at midnight last night or on the 16th or whatever. So I will start listening to this during the day if I finish Legendborn before I finish my work for the day, which I think I will because I've got to pack quite a few orders and then start on customs, and customs take me a while. So it is night time on Wednesday. I just finished A Quarter Silver Flames. I don't know what to say. I think, spoiler warning right now, if you haven't read the book yet, do not watch this, skip ahead. I will remember to put a timestamp here. If you have read it, then stick around. I have a few thoughts. First of all, I fucking hate that Nesta and Cassian are mates. I know it's cute and all, but I just don't think it was needed. I would rather they just be like a cute couple who fell in love. I'm all for them being a couple. I am not for them being mates, and that's just my opinion. I don't think everyone needs a fucking mate, but apparently they do. Second, what the hell is Reese and Feyre's kid's name? What is Nick's? That is a disgusting name, in my opinion. It does not suit their family. I know it's really dumb, but I just feel like they had better names that they could have possibly gone with, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. Maybe that's just my opinion. I don't like the name Nick's. I wish they hadn't done that. Otherwise, quite a good book. Lots of sex in the book. And I mean, towards the end, it just got a bit boring in my opinion. Nothing interesting really happened in terms of like the sexual stuff. The beginning was very interesting and cool things happened. I liked the new characters that were introduced and ones who were like developed more in this. I liked the overall story and all that stuff. There was just like little things that I don't think needed to happen that could have just been avoided. And better name pickings. Also Briellen or Briellen or whoever the fuck the enemy was. All I can think of is Breland, who's called it a Forever 17, or just calling them Brian, even though it's a girl. So that's my thoughts. I probably rate it 4 out of 5, but like a low 4 out of 5, which I don't know if, I don't think it's 3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5 worthy. Like I think it's better than that. And I could barely put it down, obviously. And not just because it was Sarah J. Maas, because I mean her writing's quite good. And not just because I liked the world, I was actually thoroughly enjoying the story. I didn't love it as much as the things. And this is like a common thing where I love Vampire Academy more than I love Bloodlines. I think I'm always going to love Reese and Feyre more than I love anything else. And because also like ACOTAR, like the first 3 books, I can't remember if A Court of Frost and Starlight was written in Feyre's point of view. I prefer first point of view, especially for fantasy, and especially if the series has already been like that. So I would have preferred it from just fully Nesta's point of view, or even the split where it's Nesta and then Cassian. I don't like how it was in third person, personally. It was good for Crescent City, it was good for Throne of Glass, but because all the other books were in first person, I think that this should have stuck with first person. Anyway, thanks for coming to my rant. I overall enjoyed it, so it's not like a rant review, like it's a terrible book. It's just like a little rant that I finished it. Next up tonight, I'm not going to do any more physical reading, I don't think, because I'm a bit tired out. This is like a 750 page book, and I finished it in just over a day. I mean, I did listen to some of the audiobook today, but I think this one I will start again tomorrow and attempt to finish it. Byron's coming down tomorrow because the rest of New Zealand's going back into level 1, thankfully. And I'm not actually that far through though, so hopefully I can finish it this weekend, and then I've got all of next week to start on A Conjuring of Light, because I really need to finish it this month. And in terms of audiobooks, I am going to be starting some new audiobooks. I just don't know which ones they are yet because I can't remember, but I will let you know when I start them. I've got a few out at the library right now, so that's that. You're on my shelves. Let me just hit it out. Sorry for the bad lighting. It is just before 9 o'clock in the morning. I am working over there. You can kind of see my stuff. I'm packing orders right now. I've only got 2 left to pack. I've got some customs to make, and I've also got to start making my March things. I cut some labels last night and I did embeds. But today I'm coming on to say that I am going to be reading or listening to Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. I think that's the author's name. My hair's a mess, I'm a mess, I'm cold, I'm tired. For some reason it was just freezing this morning. I don't know why. New Zealand's just having a cold snap. The whole world is, apparently, because it's snowing in Texas or something like that. And in general I just didn't have the best sleep. I didn't sleep much last night. I couldn't fall asleep, so I'm a bit tired. But Byron's coming home today. I'm very excited to see him. And in celebration I'm going to listen to an audiobook for the day. I was watching Survivor stuff on YouTube, but I need to focus, especially because I'm going to be making candles. So yeah, anyway, that's my update for the day. Oh, my other update actually is I read another 100 pages of law, so now I'm up to page 300, maybe 400. No, it must be 300. I think it's just all right. I can see why people would really enjoy it, but I haven't fallen in love with any of the characters, unfortunately, and I feel like there's something missing from it. I don't know how to describe it. I think by the end of the book I'll have more of an opinion on it. But now I'm over halfway through and I'm not loving it, which is why I found it so easy to read A Court of Silver Flames in the middle of reading this book. So we'll see how I feel about it. Maybe I'm going to try to finish it tonight, but we'll see because Byron's coming home, so probably won't do much reading. I just finished the audiobook of Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. I'm pretty sure that's the author's name. I don't know. If it's not her name, I don't know why I've got that stuck in my head. I know her name's Emily Duncan, but I'm pretty sure there's an A in the middle. And I really enjoyed it. I tried to listen to it quite some time ago, back when I used to work at my last job, which was, I left that job in October, so I'd say I probably tried to listen to it 4 or 5 months ago, and I couldn't get into it. I know that was partially because I was in quite a toxic workplace, and so in general I just wasn't enjoying many audiobooks around that time. I honestly can't remember half the books that I read around that time before I quit my job. I was just really not in a good place. And so because of that, I ended up deciding to DNF it, but I didn't mark it on Goodreads, I'm pretty sure, because I wanted to go back to it at some point in my life. I just wasn't sure when. And then my rep V, who also has a YouTube, I'll try to remember to link it down below, she suggested recently, last month, that I should read it. And so I decided to put it on hold at the library, and it was available way sooner than I thought it would be. So I'm glad, and I am excited that I finished it. That's a weird way to say it because I really enjoyed it. It felt very similar to Grisha, but it was its own unique twists and stuff. I really enjoyed the characters and the world, and I'd like to read the second one or listen to the second one. The only thing I didn't really like was the romance. I know it was there to push forward the plot in a good way, and it did. I'm just not the biggest fan of like romance being a thing for the sake of the plot. Like, the characters didn't have the best chemistry, or at least if they did have chemistry, it wasn't thoroughly showing the chemistry until they decided to kind of like kiss. So that's all I have to say about that. Some people probably will disagree with me. That's just my personal opinion on romance. As you can tell, I am very much over like the whole mate thing and all that stuff. So this is just a vlog about me complaining about romance. The next book I'm going to listen to is The Truth Project by Dante, I think it's Mendoza. No, Dante Medema. It is a book about something. I've had it on hold at the library since it was announced, I think, and it's only just become available. I don't know what it's about, but it looked interesting. It's a book written in verse, so it'll be short. Probably better to physically read it, but I haven't seen it anywhere in person. Typical for New Zealand, like Wickles is having a sale right now, and literally half the books I want are not in the sale, like, because I just don't own them. They don't have them on their website or in their stores. I don't know why anyone likes Wickles, because it's shit. Anyway, enough complaining about that. I'm excited to listen to this because I think it's going to be a bit different. And then once I've listened to it, which will take me about an hour and a half because it's really short, it's only like 4 or 5 hours audiobook, I will let you know what it's about and tell you how I felt. Other than that, I have not much work to do. I'm actually just waiting for Byron to turn up, so fingers crossed it's in the next few hours. Good morning, it is Saturday. I just realised I should get a book. Give me 1 second. Last night I finished Law by Alexandra Bracken and then promptly fell asleep. I had only like, I think it was like 50 pages left when I went into it last night, so I only had a little bit left. And overall it was just alright. I can see why people really enjoy it. I just felt like, because it's a standalone, I'm pretty sure, it just felt like a lot of things were rushed and it felt like it should have been bigger than that. And I know I complain about every book being a series, but because this was, if you didn't know, it's like a explanations. The Greek gods have all these houses, and every year there's like, not every 7 years, sorry, there's an aegon where the Greek gods become mortal, and they land in, I think it's always New York City. I wasn't sure if I understood that correct. Yeah, New York City. And they have to kind of like not die, because if someone from one of the other houses kills them, or someone like from the group of people who know about them kills them, they then take over that god's powers. They essentially become like Athena or Apollo or someone like that, but then they can name themselves a new name. They don't have to stay as that name, especially if they had a name before it. And so it's about Law. She is from Persephus house, which I assume, based on reading the back, is a Persephone house, but it doesn't really explain that part. It's more about like Artemis, Apollo, Athena, other characters. You think I'd know because I read Law Olympus like religiously every week, although I am behind right now because money means I'm not buying any fastpass credits. I will eventually, just, it's not smart right now for me. But in saying that, you think I'd know the names of the gods, but they just go over my head, apparently. And I just felt like, because it's such like a big undertaking of an idea and story, it felt a little bit underdeveloped throughout the beginning of the book, and so I wasn't very invested. I didn't think Law was a very strong first like main character. I thought Miles, her best friend, was quite interesting, but I also felt like he wasn't very well developed, and I really enjoyed Castor, the character, as well, although he was probably the most developed out of all of them. But I would also mention that because there's a lot about the previous Aegon 7 years before and about what happened in that one, and at times it felt like I should have experienced that one first and not gone straight into the book like what happened. I like how a god showed up on her doorstep and she's kind of thrust into the thing. It really added to her actually caring about it and all that stuff, but I think just overall there's something missing from this. And so I think at the end of the day, I'll probably rate it 3, maybe 3.5. Because overall I like the writing and I like the idea. I just felt like the execution wasn't the best. And I think the only way you could have really executed this idea really well was to put it into a duology, possibly. No, it doesn't even have to be a trilogy, just like a duology would have been fine, but I'm pretty sure it's a standalone. If I'm wrong, it's really awkward, but even then, if I'm wrong, I think that there should have been parts, there was ways to make this so that it could draw it out, like drawn it out, I can't say the words, drawn it out so it fit into 2 books instead of 1, and added more information into it to make it so I loved it more. That's all I have to say. Yeah, so that's this book. I'm glad I finished it, and today I'm going to start or restart A Conjuring of Light. This is the last book for my February TBR. I think I should probably film my March TBR this weekend. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow because it's getting towards the end of the month and I haven't even thought about it. I got that far through, you can see my bookmark, and then put it down last year, so I'm hoping that I can read it all this week, which, I mean, if I've read A Court of Silver Flames and this book this month, surely I can read this chunky book this month. We'll see how I go, because it's the third in a series and I had read the first 2 books like over a year ago. I don't 100% remember. I remember something about, I think Cal got kidnapped, and that's not really a spoiler because you don't even know how Cal is if you've read the series, and it's the 3rd book in the series that tells you nothing more, but that's what I last remember. I don't know if that happened in the last book and that was the plot of the last book, or it's the plot of this book. I'm pretty sure it's the plot of this book, so I'm pretty sure also Lila comes back, and I like Lila as a character. I know some people don't, but I do. So anyway, that's that. I'll see you for an update today before I finish the vlog, because I think I'll finish it today and not tomorrow, because I don't know when I finish the vlog. Anyway. Hello, this is me signing off my vlog for the week. I just thought I'd come on to say that I went to the library today and we picked up, well, Byron and I went to the library. We picked up 2 books. I picked up Black Flamingo by Dean Atta, which I've wanted to read for ages, and I nearly bought a physical copy the other week but then decided against it because it's only comes in hardback and it's quite expensive. And although I think I'm going to enjoy it, I just wanted to save my money. So that's one. And then I also picked up You'll Be Mine by Erin Hahn. And I also picked up 2 other books yesterday, so I'll talk to you, no, not yesterday, the day before, I'll talk to you about those in a second. And then today I started reading A Conjuring of Light by Betty Schwab. This is the last book in the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy. I think that's the name of the series. I actually started reading this last year, about a year ago, but ended up DNFing it about 100 pages, and not because I didn't enjoy it, it's because I wasn't in the best headspace. It was right when New Zealand was in lockdown and I was about to go back to work, and I just wasn't in a great place in terms of my co-worker had quit and I was working alone. It was just like not a very great time. But now I'm about 200 pages in and I'm going to watch WandaVision and read this tonight. And then also I bought 2 books yesterday, or the other day before. I bought Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, I think that's the name of the author, or just Tiffany Jackson. And then the other book which I can grab, the only reason why I don't want to grab Grown because it's really high up, is Horrid by Katerina Leno. I've had a few people tell me that I'd enjoy it, but they didn't enjoy it personally, which I mean is fine. But the cover is absolutely beautiful. It kind of reminds me of Wilder Girls, and I'm really in the mood for like horror, mystery sort of stuff right now, so I might save it for October, but we'll see. That's all. I hope you guys enjoy this vlog, and I'll catch you up in my next vlog, which will be starting tonight, obviously. Don't forget to subscribe and like and do all that fun stuff, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye!